Shocking 28 Truths About Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Take 42. Action. Hey, good morning, everybody. How are you all today? Let's just get right into it. Listen, the shocking truth, I have 28 truths for you right now about Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. I'm trying to do something just a little differently for you all, so bear with me. Yes, it's time for the shocking truth as I see it today in regards to missing autistic teenager Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Today is Tuesday, May 20th, 2025. And like I said, I'm going to try something a little different for you all today. I'm going to try to see how many truths, or I should say I did see how many truths. I came up with 28 shocking truths about this case. So pay attention to your screens, everybody. Unless you're driving, then pull over. This is the shocking truth as I see it today. But first, from the desk of Did you know people say bless you? They do say bless you when you sneeze, because when you sneeze, your heart stops for a millisecond. Come on now. Now, I recently read something that said it was just a myth. Your heart doesn't stop when you sneeze. But then I read this and I thought, for a millisecond? I don't know that I could say start and you could say stop in a millisecond. That's how fast it is. So our hearts beat, which means in between every beat, it stops, right? So people say bless you when you sneeze, because when you sneeze, your heart stops for a millisecond. Okay, I don't know about that truth, but it is supposed to be a random fact for you, and I do have that for you second. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Here's the facts, just the facts, okay? Let's start with, he was last seen February 25th, turn around this way where I can see you all a little bit better. Hey, you're looking good. I hope you feel as good as you look. Listen, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, he was last seen February 25th, 2024 by his mother, Katie Lynn Rosenbaum Rogers Proudfoot. Did I get all that out? Katie Lynn Rosenbaum Rogers Proudfoot. No relation to any American Indians that I can find at around 9 o'clock bedtime, right? That doesn't mean that's when I looked. It means that's the last time she saw her son alive in the house when he went to bed, right? Next fact, Sebastian vanished without a trace, leaving behind his phone, medications, Nintendo Switch, and all of his shoes. All of his other personal belongings are all there except for the reported black sweat pants and sweatshirt and his black framed glasses. That's just weird. He had a fetish about walking around barefoot. I think he had once stepped into some red fire ants. And from my knowledge, he would never have left his house barefoot, especially at night. Sebastian has autism and 6q27 chromosomal deletion syndrome, potentially making him more vulnerable in a missing person situation. He lived or lives on Stafford Court in Hendersonville, Tennessee, and he likes to hide under things. He went to Beach High School, less than a half a mile from his home. Sebastian loves animals, especially cats. I know he had 2 dogs. I'd like to know where all these pets went. He had a gecko that he named Gecko. I've known people that had dogs named Dog. I know a dog named Dog. Anyways, he loves the water and enjoys swimming and also likes books. Not dog. Sebastian loves the water and enjoys swimming and also likes books. Sebastian enjoys video games in solo mode. Doesn't like the co-op stuff, right? And was known to play Spider-Man and Batman video games. Some say that that would indicate he looks for a superhero in his life. He also enjoys ice cream from Culver's. If any of you know where Culver's is, tell me more about that in the comments. There was or is custody controversy between his biological father, Seth Rogers, and stepfather Christopher Bowersox Proudfoot and his mother, Katie. But I think the 2 men there are really in controversy there. It is reported that none of Sebastian's shoes are missing. Again, only his black sweatshirt, black sweatpants, and black square-rimmed glasses, right? The last place that Sebastian was seen in public was with his mother at Texas Roadhouse Steakhouse after a day of shopping and fun with his mother. Speculation is that might have been like the Last Supper, that normally they didn't go out and do these kind of fun events on a Sunday. Little did anybody know that the next morning he would be missing. Sebastian was very limited, if not allowed, to use the internet at his home on Stafford Court. However, was allowed some exposure to online and the internet at his father's home when visiting. And his father, Seth, paid attention to that stuff, right? At the time of his disappearance, Sebastian weighed 120 pounds, standing 5 foot 5 inches tall, has brown eyes, and wears glasses. His hair goes from brown to light brown, right? The FBI is offering a valid $50,000 reward for information leading to the discovery of Sebastian or information of those complicit in this case. Any and all other rewards being offered have not been validated. So you don't hear me talking about those. I believe those are BS rewards. Nobody can prove them. It's like Dog the Bounty Hunter. I'm stepping off my notes. Dog the Bounty Hunter came into the case just to get a little exposure and then introduce At Night, which is really One World Media, which, if you ask me, Nick the Hat and Dog the Bounty Hunter, I'm just saying, we haven't heard anything from Dog the Bounty Hunter now that Nick the Hat and One World Media and At Night and all these $50,000 to $500,000 retainers. Okay, that's that rabbit hole. I'm getting out of that one. There are questions regarding whether the stepfather has taken a polygraph test or if he's lying about it, right? The last image of Sebastian shows him at the steakhouse in a black t-shirt with Yoda from Star Wars on the front of it. Shortly after Sebastian's disappearance, the mother and stepfather vacated from the house, their home, leaving it locked and secure, and began living a nomadic lifestyle in their RV, moving from campground to campground, period. And I want to ask this question. Where was the thought process that if Sebastian came home, he'd find an empty house that was locked up and he couldn't get in, as if his mother and stepfather moved away, abandoning him? Who does that? Who? Never mind. I'm not going down any rabbit holes. Stick to the truth here. That's what I'm going to try to do. The stepfather, Christopher Proudfoot, and biological mother, Katie Proudfoot, are never interviewed. They're never interviewed apart from each other. They're like always there. And if you watch real close, you'll see their legs tapping each other, or elbow, or they're giving little signals to each other. When one talks, the other looks down. When that one talks, the other one's looking down. Come on, folks. I'm not noticing all this by myself. On the recent America's Most Wanted Missing Persons, the Proudfoots would not allow any filming in their home, in the house. And when asked if they could bring something to the filming from Sebastian, they brought 2 small framed photos and 2 small toys. That's the best they could do? Where's the other toys? Where's his other photos? Where's the other things? Where's an 8x10? Where are his favorite things? Where's his Nintendo Switch? Where's the things he loved? Where's his phone? Why didn't you bring that stuff? Stuff that he might have seen, he might have gone, oh, that's what I want to get back. The stepfather and mother brought up charges on a YouTuber, Betty the Bullhorn, I'll say that, and it was who she was trying to help stir up attention to find Sebastian, only to have the Proudfoots have this case dropped in federal court. What a waste of time, waste of energy. I wonder if certainly had Betty been found guilty, or Andrea, she would have had a lot of fines to pay. Now I wonder who pays for that case. Are the Proudfoots liable for all the expenses that were brought up in these cases that went 1 week to the next month, all the way up to federal court? Are they liable? Who is? As of today, Sebastian Rogers has been missing 450 days. The mother, Katie, and stepfather, Christopher, are more combative, even now more than ever, with others searching for their son than his biological father, Seth. who is still very active and vocal about finding a son and what happened to him. Since February 25th, 2024, there have been no confirmed sightings of Sebastian. Local and state law enforcement are unable to solve this case. However, and I'm going to end these facts on a great note, those of you with knowledge, those of you who know something, this next fact about Sebastian's case may be the most important fact for you to watch, listen to, and consider, with so much at stake, especially your future. Tips can be sent in to the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and I promise you, they're not going to let stuff drop or go cold. Somebody's looking into this case. You can send them text via email at tips.fbi.gov. Again, that's tips, T-I-P-S, .fbi.gov. Or you can call them at 615-232-7500. That's 615-232-7500. There you have it, folks. 28 or more facts about this case. And as I like to shout out, we, the internet, will not let this case pass until we know what happened. There are more facts out there just waiting to be shared. I invite each and every one of you, start listing them in the comments. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, if you liked any of this, please consider joining the channel by subscribing and turning on your notifications to catch more live streams as they happen. Or you can catch the rewinds on X, TikTok, IG, and or Facebook. And now your quote of the day comes from Eleanor Roosevelt, right? And she said, and in her she said, be mindful to what you consent to. No, wait a minute. I said that. She said, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent, right? Nobody can make you feel bad or lower or less than without you allowing it to happen, without you accepting that it happened. What's wrong with just laughing and going, you don't know what you're talking about? You know, you don't got to get mad over stuff. Remember, be mindful of what you consent to. You control your own narrative. High five and out, folks. I am SubaruSteve Montgomery here in the beautiful resort city of Virginia Beach, Virginia. I hope you enjoyed some of what I did here today. I go live every day for the rest of my life as long as I'm physically, technically, and mentally capable and able. And I must be able to say all those that way. Been kind of wondering about the technical aspect, but I think I nailed it today. I guess I'll find out when I look at the other side of the phone right there. If it says I stopped streaming 3 minutes ago, then I'm done. Have a great day, folks. High five and out. SubaruSteve. Bye-bye.